Monday, January 11th. There is the closing bell, guys. With the S&Ps down about 25 points, we're seeing some selling starting the week. Are we getting some profit taking? Will we see a bounce? Let's dive right in, break this market down, and then go over the top stocks of the day. We take a look at the overnight trade, and it was a straight trend down for the most part, seeing down about 35 points. It wasn't until the open we got a pop. However, that was short-lived until lunch was over, and then we tumbled back down. We're finishing about 15 points higher than where we started at the bell, getting some bids in the final minutes of close. When we look at it on a daily, stocks had 4 days in a row of running. Seeing a red day isn't a bad thing to see. Now, when we look at the SPX, guys, we came into this week expecting about 77 points. So 77 up would take us to around 3,900, and 77 down would take us to 3747. Call it 3750. So if we see some more selling, look for this 3750 level to play a nice role of support for a potential bounce back higher. Keep your eyes on these levels because it was a boring session today. Let's cruise on over to the Nasdaq and see how it did today. And we can see today the Nasdaq was down about 1.37%. It was our worst performing index on the day, and when we look at it, it's getting a little bit of a bid at the end of the day. Now, when we compare this to the Big Five, we can see that the Big Five today was down over 2%, 2.2% to be exact. So nearly almost 1% worse than the Nasdaq. It's putting stress on our S&Ps. As you can see, they're down 25 points. Now, what else is down? Well, Tesla is taking a big beating today, down near 8%. However, if you remember from Friday's video, the lower edge was around $800. It's about 808 or so here, and we're bouncing off this lower edge. This is going to be a level important to look at. Call it 800 going into tomorrow, because if Tesla sees some more selling, it's going to put a lot of stress on our Nasdaq as well as the S&P, because Tesla's in both of these indexes. Let's move on over to the small caps and see how the Russell performed today. And we can see the Russell 2000 was green, up 0.11%. It was our only index that was up on the day. Now, there's not a lot of technology in here, so it's not getting beat up as bad. Overall, we could potentially be seeing some profit taking coming out of the Big Five and rotating into the Russell and small caps in various sectors. Now, when we take a look at some of our sectors across the board, we see energy today was leading, up over 1.5%. After getting a hit on Friday, we're seeing energy come back very strong. We also have the financials up as well. Financials seem to be consolidating at a new level before gearing up at tagging an all-time high. Now we're just about 35 cents or so from that level. Now, what got beat up today? Well, consumer discretionary got beat up. There's a lot of Amazon and Tesla in this index, so it's making it misleading. However, when we look at technology was down middle of the pack, 0.8%, as well as software down 1.28%. Regardless, a lot of these sectors are still consolidating for the most part, so seeing a down day isn't that bad. Let's move on over to the advanced decline line and see how it shaped up today. And we can see that our AD line today, we're seeing 45 advancing and 56 declining in the S&P 100. What do you expect when you see most of these sectors red? However, we're getting a lot of help from financials as well as energy. Even healthcare is up about 0.5%. But overall, bigger picture, it's all right to have a down day every so often, because we can't just go straight on up, and we're still waiting to hear stimulus news from Biden. So we can go another 9 more days until inauguration, and then maybe another week until they announce an official stimulus package deal, which when that gets announced, we are going to pop the top. So with equities down for the most part, how did the bonds perform? And we can see today the bonds are down 0.33%, with the S&P and the Nasdaq. Russell's flat, but the bonds are still seeing sell-side activity. What's very interesting to watch here is the TNX. The TNX 10-year Treasury yield keeps inching higher. This is something that we're going to watch day by day, and it's going to be very interesting if this index keeps inching up higher as we progress through this month of January. Maybe seeing 1.5% yield. We haven't seen that since last February. That's going to cause a lot of disruption in this marketplace, especially if we see these bonds sell off, which in turn is going to drive this yield higher. Let's move on over to the VIX and see how volatility traded today. And we can see today the VIX index is up 7%. What do you expect? When you have technology taking it to the chin, you better believe traders are buying volatility to protect their portfolios. Now looking at the futures, we got a nice bid up. However, this is the January contract. We have 9 days active left in this contract. So we're going to be rolling here in about 9 days, and it's not the best read on volatility. So we move over to the VVIX, and VVIX is up about the same. VVIX got walked up since 1, got a little pullback at the close. However, bigger picture here, volatility is elevated and it's not going anywhere. This 110 probably to 120 range, this is like the new consolidation for the VIX. There's a lot of uncertainty in this world, and the VIX, quite frankly, doesn't deserve to come back down to levels we are used to seeing. If we look back further on a chart, we're used to seeing this thing in the 80s and 90s. So 110, 115 could be the new norm going forward. Let's cruise on over and take a look at our dollar index and see some of our commodities. And we can see today the dollar index is seeing 3 days in a row bidding higher. At 90.5, this index is up 0.47%. Now, how did oil do? Well, oil's seeing a little pullback down 0.17%, but bigger picture, it's on a beautiful trend. It's all right to get a red day, guys. However, we're seeing gold up today at 1844. Gold's up about 0.5%, hanging in there with the dollar that is green. What else is hanging in there? Well, we're also seeing silver up 1.68% at $25. Silver is not taking it that hard. However, the metals got whacked last week. So hanging in here with the green dollar is a promising sign going forward. And last but not least, guys, we have Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is seeing some turbulence, guys. Down about 14% on the futures. It got as low as 31K. I see 30 to 32K as a very, very strong level of support, and I will be doing a Bitcoin in 3 video tomorrow, so look for that in the afternoon time. I will give a more in-depth analysis if you're interested on where I see Bitcoin going in the coming week. There you have it for the stock market breakdown. Now, today was a boring Monday. There wasn't much going on, and people, quite frankly, are just taking some profits off the table. Cash is a position, you know. It's okay to stay in cash. Now, I don't expect us to just roar higher. It's going to take some time. We're going to need to see Trump pass the baton to Biden. Once Biden gets in there, though, expect stimulus deals left and right. More money printing is going to drive equities. It's going to drive commodities higher. So keep your lookout for that. And any news on that, I don't see any data points coming out tomorrow. So unless something crazy hits the tape, I'm expecting another boring session of trade tomorrow. Enough of that, let's move on over and take a look at the top stocks of the day. So we go over to our scan tab, we hit scan, and we only have 4 tickers today. Coming in at the number 3 stock of the day goes to Exelixis Inc. Today, Exelixis is up 5.83% with a market cap of a little under $7.5 billion. On a year-to-date, this stock is up 17%, so it started 2021 off all green candles. This is a stock that is starting out right. Now, what does this company do? Well, they're a genomics-based drug discovery company, and why are they up today? Well, they're trading higher after the company said they should exceed $1 billion in revenue this year, so it's seeing a lot of boost from that. However, when I look at the trade tab, it's also hard to borrow. So it could potentially be seeing a short squeeze as well, giving it a little boost. You see how it traded today? Kind of flat. It got a pop and then just kind of went sideways. When we look at it on an expected move, guys, we came into this week expecting 94 cents up or down. So 24.70 is a 2 sigma move. We got as high as 24.60, so we got a rejected up around that 2 sigma move right there. Maybe look forward to cool down and test this upper edge at around 23.76. I would like to see it come down here, maybe have a day sideways and then maybe go higher. Ultimately, the options market priced this in only 94 cents. Don't expect it to move that much, but with a nice news from the CEO, the stock was trending higher. Coming in at the number 2 stock of the day goes to Penn National Gaming. Penn's up today 7% with a market cap of $5 billion. Penn has been making this list a lot lately. Now, what does Penn do? Well, they're an American operator of casinos and racetracks and have a 36% stake in Barstool Sports. Now, why is Penn trading higher today? Well, it's seeing some strength from sports betting names after the New York House and Senate filed a sports betting bill on Thursday. So this is going to be a big boost for these stocks. You can see it was a trend day up all through the day, gave a little bit back into the close. However, when we take a look at it on an expected move, guys, Penn was coming into this week expecting 665, upper edge being 1040. We are 2 cents below that upper edge. So that upper edge should give it some stress. We did break an all-time high today. However, it could potentially cool off a bit before coming back retesting this level. Now, if you ask me, bigger picture, longer term, this is a stock that has been hot, and I think it can continue to grind higher, especially with legalization coming close to happening potentially. If the bill passed, Penn could keep on climbing, and it's a nice stock to have in a portfolio. Coming in at the number one stock of the day goes to Sarepta Therapeutics. Today was up 9% with a market cap of $7 billion. Sarepta is an engineering solutions for rare diseases with science that is on the forefront of precision genetic medicine. Now, this was a stock that got clobbered last week. You can see a huge gap down. It had a disappointing clinical results for its experimental gene therapy. I also see that it's hard to borrow, so it is seeing a little bit of a short squeeze today. Now, why is it trending higher today? Well, combination of a short squeeze as well as the CEO coming out and saying why the trials went wrong. Now, when we look at it on an expected move, it's way down here. However, we came into this week expecting $5.96. So 88.25 would play our upper edge of support, and we're slightly above that, and it's been banged up. So it could potentially coast higher to its 2 standard deviation move, which would be around 94.20 before giving it some trouble. However, overall bigger picture, this is a very sizable gap, so this stock has a lot of redemption if it wants to get back to the levels it was baked into. However, bad results is going to do that to you. Maybe this stock can coast higher in the coming weeks, but look for 94.20 potentially to slow it down if it wants to continue higher. There you have it for the top stocks of the day. Did you get a chance to watch any of these tickers? I know there weren't many tickers up today, especially over 5%. However, if you did watch some of the stocks and you're interested, leave a comment down below and I'll take a look at it, give you my thoughts on where I see it going. And if you watched this far, guys, I really appreciate it if you hit the thumbs up. It means a lot to me when you show some support. And if you're watching this for the very first time, I do this every single day. I really love doing this, guys. Show some love. Hit the subscribe button. It will really make my day. But other than that, have any feedback, comments, questions, leave them down below. I'll get back to you guys. Other than that, have a great night. Take care. Peace.